Good afternoon, Lakewood residents. Just want to give you a quick status update of where things are holding in Lakewood. As you know, there are three parts to a storm, three main parts. There's the preparation, there's the storm itself, and then there's aftermath and recovery. Right now we're in the aftermath and recovery. The preparations, I want to thank the township and volunteer organizations for a fabulous job getting together and all the preparations for the storm. Getting the word out to everyone, getting generators, water bottles, gasoline, putting everything into place for the storm itself. Great organizations, great cooperation, Chaverim, LCSW, Chesed of Lakewood, and the various organizations that have really gotten together, Bika Cholam, Hatzalah, you name it, we've got it. Volunteerism was at an all-time high getting ready for the storm. Through the storm itself, we really worked hard. There were people soaked bone to bone. We were out there making sure that people didn't get flooded over, moving trees out of the roadways, getting the storm drains really clean so there shouldn't be any flooding. I'm very proud of the work that we got done. I was personally out there to see this, to oversee this, and I'm really proud of the camaraderie amongst all the paid personnel as well as all the volunteers that have been out there. Now, the hardest part of a storm is the aftermath and recovery. Unlike the storm itself, when we could be out there moving leaves away from storm drains and moving tree branches, now in the aftermath we have power outages. This is the most frustrating part of the storm. Moving trees around and uncovering storm drains, that's easy stuff. I roll up my sleeves, guys roll up their sleeves, we make it happen. Unfortunately, we can't go up on the poles, and for that we have to rely on JCP&L. Nothing personal, but I don't have too high ratings of JCP&L. As you may know already in the past, I've had a lawsuit with them, I've stopped paying bills for some time. I can't get them to fix a street light. It's kind of hard for me to get them to fix some power into their houses. However, the good news is I'm getting phone calls from time to time from people letting me know that power has gone back on. Westgate has gone back on. So my recommendation, guys on Westgate, start calling now for the next storm. Hopefully you get your power on as well. But thankfully they're back on. I know there are many power outages still in Lakewood, 18,000 out. I'm frustrated. I cannot get a tally of how many cars, how many trucks are out there working. With DPW, Department of Public Works, I know who's out there, I know who's moving branches, I know who's cutting up tree limbs, I have a handle on what's going on. Mayor Lichtenstein worked diligently with emergency services to make this happen. Unfortunately, I don't have a handle with Westgate. My recommendation is just keep on calling the number, the 888 lights, and the reason why I keep on calling that, their system works with how many calls come into an area to prioritize. The aftermath being the hardest part. The priority here is just to stay safe driving around, and as you're going through certain intersections that the traffic lights are out, there are police officers and volunteers manning certain intersections. If you see a volunteer holding one of these, directing traffic, this is not a recommendation, this is not an invitation, nor is this just a good idea. He's telling you where to go. When he waves this, follow his direction. Please, follow his direction. If you need to get around about another way, go another block and then make your turn there. But please, follow the direction of the volunteer. Also, there's been a lot of debris flying around, trees that are down. If a tree came down on your property, if it's on your property, obviously it's your responsibility to somehow or other get a company down to cut it up. However, if you chop it up into small logs and put it in front of the house, eventually the township will get around to picking those up. Last but not least, with the many things that have flown around, if you see one of these, please make sure your son does not bring this home and put it in his bedroom. Let us know where it is, we'll come by, pick it up, and put it back on its pole. Hey, we were all 18 years old once upon a time and had these hanging in our rooms. Traffic lights and you name it. But again, this is the taxpayers' money. This is steel. It costs money. Please, if you see one of these downs, report it into Public Works. They'll come out and pick it up and make sure it gets back on the sign. I just want to apologize to the many residents who've been trying to reach me. Hundreds of phone calls, literally hundreds of phone calls have been pouring into my house. I want to thank my wife and kids for answering the phones and all that on my personal house. And again, feel free to call. I'd love to speak to everyone personally. It's kind of hard, messages with calling people back, etc. But there's so much going on, so please, it's a personal apology to you that I can't speak to you in person. However, I do want to hear from you. And anyone that has any suggestions, please send it in. I'd love to hear from you. As I said from day one, it's very simple to take a stethoscope and throw it around your neck, but that doesn't make a person a doctor. Just because I'm sitting in the mayor's chair doesn't make me any smarter than anyone else. I look at you for recommendations and advice. So we're looking forward to hearing anything and anything that people have what to say. And we've taken your advice to really assist in the cleanup process and making sure that the aftermath and recovery will go as smooth as possible. Last but not least, if you can each help out your neighbors, someone has a generator, someone has extra freezer space, someone has, please help out each other. And I've seen great camaraderie going on in the neighborhoods as people help out each other there. So please, stand with each other in solidarity during this trying time. We'll get through it together. We're proud to be Lakewood, and we'll make it happen. Thank you.